right. Oh my gosh, Lauren,
No, our last art talk.
our last art talk. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the May 2024 art talk. And gosh, we're here with you live, of course. And we've got a packed show for you this last time. And it's bittersweet, right? It's bittersweet because it's a year-long project coming to a close as of today. And yeah, that's pretty spectacular, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was a good year.
It was a great year.
Yeah. Yeah, we had wonderful guests and a lot of interaction with them and learned so much from different people. I love that.
I love that too. And each artist has been so fascinating. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce us to this last guest of ours. So let me just get myself spotlit for everybody. Hi, up close and personal. I am so excited to share with you today a wonderful, wonderful person. Her name is Debra Joy Spencer. And she really caught my heart in 2022, 2023. And I have to tell you that her art is fantastic. Debra says of herself, I like to think of myself as a teachable person, curious about the world around me. In 2020, my art journals transformed into sketchbooks, tools I now use to build and practice my skills. Shortly after this, with my growing confidence, I moved into mixed media painting. The substrate I chose is paper, which allows me to sidestep any feelings of preciousness. That's an
Mm.
important preciousness I may have about the expense of artist quality materials. Debra goes on to share that several of her paintings are her attempts to portray a story about someone's everyday life. She slows down to observe our commonplace lives in our ordinary homes. She often finds herself wandering or wondering who previously lived in a home and what happened when they lived there. Sometimes it feels as if the previous residents are still present in the house, she tells us. So instead of rushing about, she'll pause and tune into the life of the house, and she'll listen, hoping to hear a story. So without further ado, I would like to invite Debra Joy Spencer into the studio. Come on in, Debra. Hi, 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 hi.
Hello.
It's
Hello.
so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
you know, before we begin the interview, I just want to share that, it feels like you and I met at one of Connie's retreats, artist retreats. I mean, I went to Sedona retreat in 2021. Did you go to the the
No,
Mexico one
we
in
met.
20? No,
No,
oh no,
we
no.
met.
I'm saying it felt like
uh,
it
yeah,
feels like we go back to a retreat, okay?
yeah.
But in 21, I went to her Sedona retreat, and which retreat did you go in 21 or 22? The Mexico one.
I think it was 22, but
Yeah,
it's all blending together. It's marked by the work,
COVID.
the work,
Yeah,
and
it's marked by COVID too, COVID lockdown. We all popped out of COVID lockdown. But you and I met in the Paint Wisdom Circle that we both were in. And what a wonderful crew of ladies
yeah,
was in that. And several of you, I have felt such a close kinship to since uh, connecting in that 8-week process. But even if I don't stay in contact, I'm bad about staying in contact. Anyways. without further ado, let's start your interview.
Yes.
All right. Tell us, what is your biggest art achievement to date?
I worked for about 16 years at an accredited art school. And I had a lot of great experiences, and then I had some that were really hard on my heart. And last fall, I got brave and I entered the alumni show. And my work was accepted. And I went to the opening and experienced some remarkable healing, and really affirmed for me there's so much value in sharing our work, not just to sell, but to build a community and to be able to affirm other people and to be affirmed. And I think currently I would say that show was a biggie for me.
Yeah, yeah. What did you what was your biggest piece or your highlight piece that you shared in that show?
It's called Stand Every Hour, and I made it during the pandemic when I was working remotely. And it's an image of a man with a cane standing next to a table. And
Wow.
on the table is a computer and a mouse. And it's very expressionistic. It's not, I mean, you can see the story in the painting, but I try real hard to stay away from photoreal. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to share one of right off the bat, I'm going to share one of your paintings. Do you see it right here?
Oh, wow.
so
I chose to share this one because of all the people. This is your family process, right? In showing a family.
yeah, and so this piece, this is a turning place for me in my work. I like to do rooms and show uh, how people choose to live or arrange their settings. And I had made this table with the birthday cake on it, and I realized how lonely birthday can be. And this group of people is from some old photos that I have of family, and I put them up on the wall so that they have this, they're there, but they're not there, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing, yeah. Boy, I'll tell you, there's a lot of depth in that picture, that painting, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Joy, Deborah, how did you get started in art? What made you decide that you were going to be an artist?
Um, I I think I was taught how to sew, and when my children were young, I did a lot of sewing, and I learned how to weave and spin, and then from the fibrous materials, I moved into paper and card making again, about family, birthday cards, those kinds of things. Um, and then I took some bookbinding classes. Working at the college, I had an opportunity to take a lot of community education classes for free. They were a benefit. And so I started exploring drawing. I took a full year of drawing, and I took some painting classes. And then, so I was doing art journaling and binding my own books. And I started really liking the work that I was doing. And, you know, closing up the book, nobody sees it. And that's when I moved into painting. And that
Uh,
was right before the pandemic that I was like,
okay.
okay.
That's really interesting.
So it's
Yeah.
been a journey, we all have a journey that's
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I'm just wondering, oh, this is beautiful. I love your style. Can you tell us about this piece?
So, a big part of my practice is studying. I do a lot of research, and this is a wonderful book about women painters of the American West. And so this last March for what's it, National Women's History Month, I
Mhm.
decided to study different artists, women artists. And so this is my copy of Margaret Peterson's piece that she did in the late 30s called Three Women. And I've since taken this idea and done something similar but very different. So it's become a jump off place. It also was very fascinated by the color. Red has always been a very difficult color for me. And so for the last, I don't know, 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months, I've been looking at red. And so you can see behind me, there's a very large canvas that I'm going to paint someone laying down, and then I'm going to put it in my bedroom. So just accepting that challenge
Mhm.
and doing the research, and you know, a lot of our social media has become, I kind of think of it now as home shopping networks. And so I'm back to books, and I'm back to libraries and, documentaries. I just watched something by Lucius Freud, and his work is now his palette is very different than this. It's
Mhm.
very muted, and it's very it's more of the Zorn palette. And so that's a challenge to, like, oh, go from my typical bright colors to something a little more muted. And but like I said in my bio, I really want to be a teachable person. I want to be learning. I think it's a good example for my grandchildren. I think it keeps me young.
Yeah.
And where do you see your art going in the future?
I'm showing it more, and I like here in the Sandy, Oregon area, currently I have work in both libraries and in the theater. So
Mhm.
the idea of developing my art so that I am known as a regional artist
Mm.
is 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 kind of an idea I have about myself. I also, this piece that you've got on the screen right now, this is much different than this. It's very small. It's about this big. And it's I've been doing a lot of collage and sketching at the same time.
Mhm.
And
So
you'll
this is
see
a
this.
self-portrait, right? This is a self-portrait.
I suppose, yeah, I suppose you could, I, minus the glasses,
Minus
minus,
the glasses.
30 years.
Okay, okay, so here is your real self-portrait. Let me share that because it's a jelly plate, right? It's
Yeah.
a jelly plate. And oh my gosh,
Oh,
really, you have got jelly plates down to a remarkable
wow.
style. So this is just beautiful, really, Deb. I mean, look at it, look at it,
I love it.
you
Okay.
know. How many layers is this particular
So
piece?
this is a technique with the jelly plate that I actually I learned from a fellow artist here in Sandy, and you paint on the jelly plate.
Yeah.
And so I took a photograph of myself, and then all the outline of my hair and my glasses, that's done with oil pastel.
Okay.
And so the first layer is black paint. You put on the drawing with the oil pastel. It pulls up everything from the plate except where the oil pastel was.
Oh, interesting.
And then after that, I painted it and let it dry. It's several different layers of painted on the plate. And then once it's dry, I pulled the print. So
Oh,
it's,
it's just gorgeous. I just really, really love this one.
thank you.
And I,
That's it.
it might be my favorite of what you sent, although I'm going to have to say that a lot of them are my favorite. So I don't know which one I can say is my favorite or not my favorite. And I'm going to share one, I'm going to share an actual photo because I got to welcome you and your sister into my art studio.
Yes, yes.
Oh, what a wonderful day. What a wonderful day that was.
It was a really great day.
Yeah, we walked the neighborhood and then we went and had lunch or breakfast or whatever. And then we came back and we talked shop. And that's a solid memory for me. I love that memory. Love it, love it, love it. So, so I want to know something from you. Why? Why? Why do you paint? Why are you doing art? What
Um,
led you to it?
and I'm just going to talk about this period of time in my life.
Okay.
And you know, I was raised in the 50s and 60s, and by a father who was climbing the ladder, you know, coming out of a small town in Montana, and he wanted to be very different than his family. And so working was important, you know. So even though I worked at an art college, I really didn't take it. I mean, I took classes, but I didn't take the full advantage of it. And when I look back at my art journals from that time, there was a lot of good ideas. There was really some great ideas. And so now at my age, I feel a really strong urgency. A really, really strong. It's like uh I'm always taking photos of things I want to paint.
Mhm.
And like right now, I think I have 5, 6, maybe 7 things. Like you can see this one is just barely started, whereas there's one in the studio that is almost finished. So it's an urgency that I feel inside of me that got locked up for too many years. And uh, when I went to Oaxaca for the retreat there, we had a day of touring, and halfway through it, I said to the group, I have to go back to the studio. I came here to paint.
Mm.
There's so much stimulus here, so much color. I have to. And after a half a day of touring, I actually stayed up until like midnight painting, and it's that feeling inside of me that
That's so funny you say that because in Sedona, when they did the pink Jeep tour day, I was like, I'm opting out. I need to go do something. And that's what I did. I didn't go back to the studio for the retreat. I went back to my room and all I did was work on different
Mhm.
things, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that. I think that's you paint every day.
I work hard to do that. Of course, just like everyone, you know, we have those down times. And for me, it's really related to the seasons. My January and February are have in the past been very, very difficult for me. Here I'll spend the holidays with family and then I live alone. All my family has moved from Oregon. So I come home and it's a difficult time. And but there's the studio, you know, it's not like I have to put my work away. So even though when I'm having those down times, I come and wander around the studio. Maybe I'll rearrange and maybe I'll do a lot of sketching in those months
Mhm.
instead of painting, you know. Uh, yeah.
So I'm just because you're talking about right now and you know your whole process right now. Is there something on your to-do list that you really are excited to tackle? Something maybe new, a different technique, or you know?
Yeah. I am moving, and I am moving clear across the country
It's huge.
to South Carolina.
That's
So,
huge.
so I've already investigated some guilds. I've investigated a residency. I've found out that I can take classes at the university there in Columbia. So I'm pretty excited about meeting a lot of new people and seeing new work. You know, that part of the Appalachian area, my understanding of the Southeast is it's got a lot of craft. And having worked at the Oregon College of Art and Craft, maybe it's like, what would it be like to come back into my studio after I had been to a 3-day basket making workshop? You know,
Oh,
how does that, what's that gonna do? So there's all of that. Plus, I've gotten a lot more confidence about stepping out of my studio. I tend to be a bit of an introvert. And so again, having some challenge, learning new situations. With regards to my work, I just bought a projector. And
nice.
um, you know, that technique's been used since the 1400s. I don't need to be like that whole cheating thing is just BS. So I have actually spent the last couple of days, because it's still very new to me. I've spent the last couple of days looking through my sketchbooks,
Mhm, mhm.
photographs. You know, like I said in my statement, my sketchbooks are a big tool for me. And I want to bring some of that work out. And now taking a photograph, I loved it. I'll put it on a substrate, and maybe the colors will be different. Maybe, the story will be expanded now because I've done some life drawing, and I'll put a person in it instead of just a table and a chair. So, um, uh, and the other thing is, I want to learn how to do this tiny little work. I mean, look how big this is. It's like, what would it be like? I don't.
It's no different though than working in your sketchbook than in an art journal. So that's the mindset, right? Is shifting it just out of a book onto it. Yeah. Is that wood? Is that a wood?
This is a wood panel,
Yeah.
and it's very smooth, like hot pressed paper. I also have a canvas here. I'm not real crazy about canvas
They're
because
not tight enough. The small ones aren't tight enough.
they're not. And a sketchbook is it can be, you can put, I put things like this plastic
Mhm.
in between sheets so that I have it's a little firmer, so but the other thing is that happens to me with this Kismet is it's precious.
It's precious. Okay, so you throw some paint on it and set it aside so that it's kind of smudged, or put a Stabilo and smudge it and then go, oh, oops, it's no longer precious.
Yeah, good old Stabilos. Yeah, make it dirty.
Get it dirty, grunge it up a little bit, and then it's like, oh, it's been sitting in my studio forever.
Exactly, that's the other thing. But yeah, I did. I bought those 6 months ago, so maybe they're not, precious. For a long time in my studio, before I met you and during the pandemic, I would be so aware of the critic lived in my studio. I called her Miss Precious.
Love that.
The bookkeeper lived in, you're gonna spend more money. Is that in your budget? Don't submit that order to Blick. I had all these characters that lived in my studio, and I think they're kind of like they've been minimized quite a
I
bit.
think you should paint those characters in a painting. That would be an awesome.
Well, I have lots of photos of my studio, and now I've got the projector. So,
Yeah, yeah.
pictures of our studios, they're full of a lot of stuff. So
Yes,
that
they
would be
are.
kind of interesting to have Miss Precious sitting on the top of my stack of these.
Precious.
Yeah. What would you say to beginning artists, Deborah? What advice would you have for them?
Well, yes, we have to survive. We
Mm,
have to have our homes. We have to have our food.
mm,
We have to have our electricity. But be brave. If you're in a job that is really not good for your soul,
mm,
find some bravery, find some people around you that can support you and move on from that situation. So then you free up your creative soul, you
mm.
know, when we're doing things to survive. I think that is that Maslow triangle.
Yeah.
And to move up from that, if we're in a bad situation, is impossible. So really, um, don't put it off.
Mm,
Don't put it off.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's a statement, isn't it? Don't put it off.
Put it off because you end up, and I know I've got a good 20 years, but man, I'm gonna have to really watch my health and watch, my stress, and watch that I take care of myself so that I can get all of these paintings out of
And
myself.
our hands as painters,
Yes,
I'm finding that I have to do a daily exercise with them so that because we get used to holding the paintbrushes, right? And the
yes.
tools, and to stretch out the tendon in there. I'm starting to feel ache. Not that this has anything to do with anything, but it
No, but
does.
yes,
Yeah, but I watched watched Grace and Frankie, a show with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin.
Yeah.
Great sitcom show for women of age, those of us who are moving into that beautiful, exciting chapter of our life. And that was, towards the end of that show, they're in their 80s, and Lily is the painter. And that was something too. She could no longer hold her brush to paint, and that
Mm,
crushed her because who she really was taken from her. And that made me realize, oh yeah, doing those daily exercises, or flexing and massaging our hands, so important. That's part of caretaking.
yes,
mm,
It's
mhm.
part of caretaking. Tiger balm, massaging tiger balm into is so
yeah.
important. Well, we are at the bottom of the hour, so I just need to take a moment just to say hello to all of the individuals who are tuned into us in Twitch. And thank you for viewing us. And I just want to remind you, if this is your first viewing, that there is a place for you to pop a question in. Don't hesitate if you have a question or a comment for Debra. We'll see it and we'll definitely bring it to her attention. And we want to thank you for tuning in to the very last Art Talk, a very bittersweet day for Lauren and myself. And we're so happy and we appreciate you. We're so happy you're here and we appreciate you.
Mm.
So without further ado, I'm going to share another of Debra's fantastic work. Oh, before I do that, though, I want to say one thing. We have a tribute that'll be happening in about 15 minutes. And so there is a possibility that other artists from the past year of our art talks will be coming in. So you might hear that doorbell in Zoom ringing. But don't go away. It doesn't mean we're not here anymore. All right, let me share this. I saved this one for last because I love this. I could see this take up a whole wall. I can see this take up a whole wall.
Oh, wow.
I just love that, Debra.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
This is actually Fuchsia's number 2. I painted this painting, and here's another highlight in my art life. My kids, yeah, mom makes things. Mom makes things. And my oldest last year asked for the original of this.
Oh, nice.
And I had it professionally framed and sent it to her. And that really, that and my move to South Carolina, and it's like, I have to have a space where I live that I'll have a studio. I've been really insistent about that. And so just my kids understanding that, yeah, my mom is an artist. My
Yes.
mom's an artist. And so this number 2 is that I too loved that painting that I gave to my daughter. So I painted it again.
Okay, I love that. But okay, don't you believe that when one of your children asks for one of your pieces, that you've succeeded as an artist?
I truly believe that.
Mhm.
I do. It's like last year, my son said to me when we were originally talking about moving, he said, "Oh, well, I want every single painting you've ever done."
Oh, I love it.
And I went, I had no idea. I had, because, we're one of those families that we don't have a lot of drama, and, one's in Texas, one's in Sweden, one's in South Carolina. My sister's not, in California. So it's like, it's all spread out. And so, those moments become really quite, heartwarming. So,
Yeah, they really do. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
yeah.
not this is weird to say, but you're like a bona fide artist because family wants your stuff, not out of, they have to, but when they come to you like that and say, I want everything.
Yeah.
I
I
You're
don't
leaving
think
it to me.
I don't think he understood what he was asking for either, because after I finished with the mentorship with Connie Solero, I inventoried almost 200 paintings I had done on paper. That's another thing
That's
about painting on paper.
yes, it's easy to do it.
Storage, easy. Storage and expense. You could start with the cheap paper, and then you can go to the next layer, and you can go to the next layer. And these little puppies, when you want something that big.
Even small like that stack up. I mean, in my studio, I have a whole corner of stacked stuff. And then in Jack's office, all of my finished canvas are all in there. The closet is packed with them. And it's like, what do you do with them when they don't get bought?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if you've experienced this, but if you have them hanging on the wall in your home, people will come in and they know you're an artist, and they'll go, oh, and they're looking around. And I almost feel like there's a hesitancy there because they don't know, is that one of your paintings, or is that did you buy that painting? Or and then there's that hesitancy, they'll finally get around to saying, oh, did you paint that? Right? And do you do this? I say, take it, it's yours. Especially if they say, oh, I really like that. It's like, take it.
Yeah.
And they don't. They're like, I couldn't take it off your wall. It's like, I can take it down for you if that makes it. Because what people don't realize is our favorite, because we all have favorites, right? Our favorites will say, oh, that's my favorite. We're honest. Oh, no, I don't, that stays with me.
Yeah.
But everything else, take it.
Well, this is really helpful for me to hear, Kismet, because when I move, I made a decision to have one full wall of my paintings.
Nice.
And so it would be really fun if someone said, oh, I really love this. And, in the Native American way, if somebody said, oh, I love this that you have on, it was tradition to hear, this is for you, and that's I've actually done that with some jewelry in the past, and it would be fun to do that with my paintings too.
Paintings,
So,
yeah.
thanks for the tip.
You're very welcome. Well, I'm doing a time check. to see how
We
much,
could talk forever.
I know how much goodness we can get out of you because you're just so full. Okay, I have a
Thank you.
question for you, and this is not going to be new terminology for you, but
Okay.
if you were to define an artist's journey of development as student apprentice, emerging,
Mhm.
mid-career, or established mature,
Yeah.
what part of your artist journey of development do you feel you are in? And of
Well,
course, there can be
I'm
several.
I'm starting to get comfortable with having my work out in the public. And so I think I would say, like, a beginning emerging.
Yeah.
And I hesitate because I will always be a beginning and learning person
I
when
feel
it
that.
comes to my artwork, always. You know, um, like we've talked about the panels. I've never painted on those, but I know what I want to paint. I know the colors I'm familiar with and I'm comfortable with. It's just that substrate, So I have some confidence already built up to start working with that substrate, but I'm I'm also confident and as a result, I'm confident enough to know that, oh, if I make something that is good, I can share it. I
Mm.
can take it out into the world. I can emerge as a confident artist.
Yeah.
Kismet, there's one thing though that I wanted to talk about
Yes.
with regards to my statement. I don't know if we have time, but I'll be brief. I read over my bio
Mhm.
and I took and made a list of all where I have learned to be an artist. And I'm not going to call myself a self-taught artist anymore.
Mm.
And maybe that's because I'm at this place now of like honoring my legacy. And I'm going to define myself now as I'm sorry about the sunshine. Whoops. Sorry. Um, I'm going to define myself as a community taught artist.
Oh, I like that. That's beautiful.
I've taken this workshop and, read this book and, gone to this retreat. I don't have a BFA and I have no desire for a BFA. I don't have an MFA, but I am open to the community to teach me.
Mhm.
And self-taught, I think, is a whole different kind of artist that has different kinds of experiences. If I had lived up in Montana or way up in North Dakota and had this really small environment, it's possible to truly be a community taught artist, but mostly from what I can gather in reading, and this I might be wrong, that self-taught really are people who are completely self-taught.
Mhm.
Grandma, what's her name? Grandma Moses, or
Mm.
I think about her and she truly taught herself.
Right, right. No, I love that concept of community artist,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I think we started using the term self-taught for those of us who didn't go to university and get a degree, because in the fine arts, you're
Right.
looked down upon because you don't hold that credential. And so you're not really an artist. And it's like, okay, well, I'm self-taught, big deal. I'm
Yeah.
still an artist, right? But evolving it into community artist, that's beautiful.
Well, and we have the internet now.
Yes, we
Mm.
do.
We can do research during Women's History Month
Yes,
that's specific to women artists. And we
yes.
can go onto YouTube and listen to interviews, listen to them talk like an artist talk.
Yeah.
It's a different era that we live in learning how to be an artist. And
Mm.
I just wanted to acknowledge that in my statement from this point on. And I'm grateful to you that you asked me for a bio, that I had to relook at it, because those are things that we write and then we kind of put them
They're
away.
not static, are they? They're not static.
No,
Bios change every year, I think.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, though. May I use community?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Share it as much, because it's yeah, and
Tourism.
I feel stronger. I feel stronger knowing that I'm a community taught artist.
And you know what? Why do we have to even clarify we're taught? Why can't we just make the statement, I'm an artist?
Yeah.
I'm an artist, and I have gratitude for every artist who has either inspired me or taught me.
Yeah,
Mm.
good point. Really good point.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we are coming down to probably your last question before we do our tribute. So I, of course, have tons of questions, but I want to give Lauren, do you have a question?
I do. I'm really curious as to who and what inspires you, Barbara, Debra.
Barbara. Who's
No,
Barbara?
I'm often called Barbara. What
You
is,
are?
yes.
Past life.
So on my journey, I got really interested in still lifes. And I think the painting of mine that you showed at the beginning, where the people, they did truly just appear.
Mm.
And my creative soul just said, there needs to be people here. And so now I'm doing a lot more sketching of people. Like if I go out to sketch to a coffee shop, I'm I'm gonna try to sketch the people. I don't
Mhm.
really, I'm not interested in the a bakery counter. So, and I'm doing that because I want live human beings and animals in my paintings. And so I do a lot of people watching, and I've noticed, because I'm doing this more, when I'm talking to people about their children and they're showing me photos, for the first time in my life, I've been able to say, oh, you look like your daughter. But
Mhm.
that's because now I've spent so much time looking at people and really like, where, oh, look at their ear is really big or it's really small. And then when I see their picture of their children, it's like, oh, you have the same ears, so that looking at people has become uh something I really find inspiring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it has been a pleasure. I want this art talk to just go on forever.
Me too, me
Um,
too. It's so good to see you. And it's so
because
nice to meet you, Lauren.
Yes, nice to meet you too, Deborah.
so I know we already have someone in the wings in the studio, one of our past guest artists. So I'm going to invite Lauren to come on in, come on to camera. There she is. Woo! And you can unmute yourself when you have a moment. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Kisma. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Lauren.
So
Hi.
this Deborah and Lauren and myself, we all were involved in the mentor program with Connie, right? The mentorship program, and also several different wisdom circles, I think. I don't know. Feels like we've been together forever. and so it's like a reunion happening. And I did send out an invitation to invite all the guests artists from the past year of Art Talk to come in. And I know that Art Blue is supposed to be coming in. Um, uh, we'll just wait and see who else comes in. But what I would like to do is share with all of you a short video. It's just a tribute. It's a thank you to all of you. And you'll see in it towards the end, it's only 12 minutes long. It's not long at all. A space holder for you, Deb. It's a space holder. So it'll go black and you'll see her name. Just know that after today, of course, that the final version will be made. So You ready?
Mhm.
It's fun and playful, and I am not a film film person, film editor. So this is using my little program and getting it all on. So without further ado, here. Oh, let me first. I've got to share my screen. Don't I? I can't just start playing it. All my faux pas.
Mm.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. How you feeling there, Lauren? You ready for us to begin our art talk?
I'm ready.
We are live. We are officially live on Twitch at this time. And I want to welcome you to our first art talk. I am Kisma. I am an artist, a writer, and a creative guide. And my co-host is Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm an educator, and I enjoy in my free time doing all kinds of things that are artistic and creative, especially art journaling and collage.
Yeah, and we got together and we decided to do this monthly art talk. And the fun thing about it is it's for us mostly just to come and hang out and talk about any and everything art, right? And we also, what's our intention, Lauren? What's our intention? Do we have a specific intention?
I think it's just to bring people together to talk about interesting artistic things and to enjoy that sharing of information.
Yeah. Yeah, the sharing of information. Yeah. And we're going to have special guests along the way, right? Anything else you want to add, Lauren?
I think that's it. I think we're ready to start off with our first guest.
Ooh, okay. It is my honor to introduce to you our first of many monthly art talk. And today we have here in the studio with us, we have a man from my art background of many names. His real name is Rainer Schneeberger. Virtually, he goes by the name of Art Blue, and also artistically, he goes by the name of Kunstblau. So if you hear any of those names, you'll know automatically who we're talking about.
Okay, here I am.
Welcome, Art Blue.
Welcome.
Welcome.
You gave me many names.
I
You
did.
forget the most important one.
Art Blue.
No, the blah, blah, blah artist you said
Oh.
yesterday in the rehearsal.
All right, here we go. We are live. And Connie, you're there. You are on Twitch TV. Hi, everyone.
It worked. It's awesome.
We are here live with a few minutes of technical difficulties. Welcome to the. And now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of Connie Solaris. So
Ooh.
here we go, Connie. So.
Well, it's my pleasure today to introduce Kristen Tweedale, aka Are You Kristen, who is a feminist scrapbooker and the awesome lady behind the Awesome Ladies Project. And there
Hi,
she is.
friends.
Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
So, guess what? Without further ado, I am going to invite Kat Z into the studio. Welcome, 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 Kat.
Hi. Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Kat.
Hi, Lauren. Hi, Kisma. Hello to both of you.
So wonderful to see you. Let's welcome Lauren Strock into the studio. Come on in, Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Welcome.
Good morning. Good
It's
morning.
good to see you. So without further ado, I would like to introduce a very incredible woman. So are you ready? Are you ready? Shiloh Sophia, here she is. Shiloh, first of all, I have so many things to say about you.
Hi, Kisma. Hi, Lauren. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in today. It's great to be with you in the studio.
Let's welcome Kisma. There you are, Kisma. Nice to see you today.
Hi, Lauren. It's nice to be here. It's odd. It's weird. I have to say that. I think you need to tell them how this happened.
Oh, okay. Well, we had all our artists lined up until Christmas, and then someone backed out, and we were saying, who are we going to get to fill that spot at this late moment? And one night, I just woke up in the middle of the night, and I said, it's got to be Kisma.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's welcome Annie Gangle into the art studio. We're going to do things just a little differently this month. Annie, go ahead and come on in. Take off your, yeah, hi.
Hi guys, how are you? Sorry, there was a technical difficulty. I had to re-sign in.
That is okay. We're happy you're here. And everybody, please meet Annie.
And we have a wonderful guest today, Jen Bonato. So without further ado, let's invite Jen Bonato into the studio.
Hello.
Hi, Jen. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So today we have collage artist Kat Rains with us, and I'm really excited to hear what she has to say today because she does some really interesting work, and it's exciting.
Come on into the studio, Kat.
Oh, there we go.
There
Hello.
she is. Welcome, Kat. It's so
Oh,
nice
thank
to have you here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, you've got a lot of light around you. Look at all that beautiful light coming in. Art Talks has been a wonderful experience. Lauren Small and myself made a 1-year dedication to this project. And so next month will be the very last Art Talk. So we hope you have been enjoying them. And yeah, there you have it. And then starting in August, we do have a new project that will be launching forward, but I don't know that it will be on Twitch. So don't get your hopes up. Here we are at the top of the hour. And today it's going to be my pleasure to share Lauren Small with you, my co-host. So without further ado, let us invite Lauren into the studio. Come on in, Lauren. Woohoo!
Hello, everyone.
How are you today, Lauren?
I'm very well, thanks. Yeah.
Now we get to start our normal art talk.
Mm.
All right. Oh my gosh, Lauren,
No, our last art talk.
our last art talk. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the May 2024 art talk. And gosh, we're here with you live, of course. And we've got a packed show for you this last time. And it's bittersweet, right? It's bittersweet because it's a year-long project coming to a close as of today. And yeah, that's pretty spectacular, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was a good year.
It was a great year.
Yeah, yeah, we had wonderful guests and a lot of interaction with them and learned so much from different people. I love that.
I love that too. And each artist has been so fascinating. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce us to this last guest of ours. So let me just get myself spotlit for everybody. Hi, up close and personal. I am so excited to share with you today a wonderful, wonderful person. Her name is Debra Joy Spencer. So without further ado, I would like to invite Debra Joy Spencer into the studio. Come on in, Debra. Hi, 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 hi.
Hello. Hello.
So wonderful to have you here. But I want to take this opportunity to really extend my gratitude to you, Lauren, for doing this year-long journey with me together. We did it together. We both worked equally hard on this. It wasn't even hard work, but you know, I mean, there were ups and downs with it and deadline challenges and more than I think we realized.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I thank you for inviting me into this experience, because it's really been fun working with you, and every day that we work together is it's a new, exciting adventure, you know.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we sure have.